but I am certainly very excited. It's a tough first game to play without LeBron James, and a little bit uncertain about the lineup and who's playing with whom. But there's a lot to be excited for, and it certainly starts with Luka. So that's, DeMarco, I think, the benefit of having him when, there's a lot of uncertainty. LeBron's out, but you've got this top 5 in the NBA player, this superstar that can just go out and get you a game by himself.
And that's all I'm really looking for. I don't think this team is all of a sudden going to turn into a defensive dynamo overnight. So I'm expecting a lot of offense. But what do you take out of game ones? Like, what are you looking for? The result? I mean, what do you take out of game one? I'd
say much less than I would take out of an NFL game one, just based on the length of the schedule. And I suppose baseball is the extreme example of this, but we cannot help it. All of our jobs depend on overreacting. Like, you guys are gonna have a show tomorrow, right? And so whatever you see tonight,
we'll mention how Luka played tomorrow. Yeah, I bet that's a topic.
So it's very I really try hard to keep the perspective. But if you've been hearing about how things are gonna go for a couple weeks now in preseason, and you see the opposite, right? Then you get concerned. But the thing that JJ Redick has been emphasizing is the level of competitiveness and the fire and kind of the focus. That, I think, will be there. If they don't have the personnel to kind of keep up with the system that Golden State is running, and Steph Curry healthy and Jimmy Butler in his first game, and like that, I can understand a little bit. So the main thing I'm looking for is the compete level.
Yeah.
And if that isn't there in game one, right, then you're asking questions. What did
JJ say before he called Luka fat? What did he say?
Championship caliber condition or something like that. Something along those lines. Championship conditioning. That's what it was.
Championship level shape.
That's what it was.
Well, Luka is definitely in amazing shape.
Not just him. The entire team, if that's the standard. Right.
The entire team for sure. But Luka just not being able to get to that point because of the injury last year.
Right.
And he came back after missing 3-4 months. So he is good to go, and that gets you a head start, gets you on first base.
Everybody, all eyes on Luka, obviously, and when LeBron comes back, we're going to spend a ton of time talking about LeBron. And what do you think that you guys will see the biggest difference in Redick? Because he was a rookie head coach last year, right? So he's kind of learning on the job, and it wasn't just any old job. A, it's the Lakers. B, you almost had to coach like 3 different teams through the course of the season. You had the AD LeBron Lakers, you had the Luka transition, and then you had at the end of the line where you're basically down to 5 guys. That would be a big ask for a guy that's been in the league for 10 years running a team. This is a guy that was in his first year running a team. He obviously is a very intellectual guy. He's introspective. He's self-evaluating. I think all those things that you want from your coach. How will he be different, and will we tell tonight?
Yeah, it's such to me, it just makes me think of how difficult this job is, because JJ has this whole summer to think about, all right, I tried it this way year one. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. How do I improve the stuff that didn't? And then you get to June, July, and you get, okay, we got DeAndre Ayton. He's in here. You got Marcus Smart. All right, that's good. How can I plug these pieces in? Well, then you get Marcus Smart for 2 preseason games. You do get to see a lot of Ayton, but you're not going to have LeBron James. And I guarantee you all of the plans when LeBron James is on your roster, All-NBA second team last year, have a lot to do with LeBron James.
Sure.
So then you're trying to patch that hole, and you're putting Gabe Vincent in, who's obviously a much different player. He's a guard, right?
Yeah.
Gaucho, though. Shout out to guy, and an excellent soccer player growing up, which is underrated thing about Gabe Vincent. You might not have expected that. So it's just like then he's got that thing. And I don't want to call it a problem. It's just something that's much different. And then, well, what defensive scheme can you play with a smaller group out there? Can you switch like you would with LeBron? Probably not. DeAndre Ayton is now in a drop coverage. They weren't playing much drop last year, especially after Anthony Davis went, because they didn't have the personnel. So it's one thing after the other. And the way that Redick described it, I'd be curious if football is the same way, is like the head coach's job. It's just problem solving. It's just, what are the 50 problems that I know I have to solve? And then what's the one that happens in the first 2 minutes of the game?
That you never anticipated.
Right.
That just comes out of left field.
You lose your quarterback 2 minutes in.
Doesn't help
my game plan.
To help that JJ Redick came out and said that, hey, we don't have any lockdown defenders. So he said they're basically going to rely on help defense and being able to rotate and helping guys out, because he understands that they're not going to be able to have one lockdown defender. And I was honestly curious to see why he was rolling with Gabe Vincent. I know that he was shooting the ball relatively well these past 2 games. I thought Jared Vanderbilt was going to be that guy, seeing what he was doing in the preseason, picking guys up, and they need that point of attack defender, and you add a little bit more size to replace LeBron James. So is there a reason to why he was rolling with Gabe Vincent into this game?
I think it's probably – so first of all, I think it's just for this game that – and JJ hasn't even officially confirmed it, but we think that Gabe Vincent's going to start. And the way that Golden State moves bodies on the perimeter, is
poor guy.
Like you have to have a couple guys that can sprint and chase Steph Curry
He's
around.
He's run through about 8 illegal screens.
Yeah, well, Draymond for sure will be setting half of those.
Oh my God,
elbows up here.
Right.
Yeah.
Horford sets a good screen too. DeAndre's point is right though. Like they don't have the personnel. Like this is not Oklahoma City where you've got Alex Caruso and Kaysen Wallace and J-Dub and Shea, like all these athlete like wings on the perimeter. But they do have Jared Vanderbilt. I think he'll be called upon. They do have a couple of other players like Marcus Smart at the peak Marcus Smart level could do it.
Yeah.
But
not now.
But ultimately, yes, they do need to rely on team defense 100%.
The answer to your question, DeAndre, is when you have a problem, you call a gaucho. That's what you do. That's how you solve problems. When stuff gets hard, last night the Blue Jays need to win a game. What do? They put a gaucho on the mound and they go and they win a game.
But you don't have any problems if you're a gaucho because it's just the most beautiful place on earth. There's great food everywhere.
That's why. See,
what are the problems in Santa Barbara?
Because that's how we grow up in this environment. We're thriving to go and show that we can solve all of these problems.
Except if you need something fixed, though, right? Because you
then
can't
you call a guy.
Then you call
a guy.
You call a gaucho.
Yeah,
that's what the money's for.
That's right. Yeah, that's what the money's for, indeed. All right, got a little Far Side coming up next. It's D'Marco and Trav. Trudell's here too. 710 ESPN.